Okay. Should I just ask you to pick a number 1 to 6?
Choose what matters most.
Okay. What matters most is a situation I was just discussing with some friends, and it turns out that secretly we're all feeling the same way underneath. There's a bunch of us. We own our own business. We each have different businesses and some cross-partnering going on because we own a couple of businesses apiece. And we've created everything in our life. We've asked for things, we've created it, things are working. And we're not where we want to go. We want a lot more. And at the same time, we're all realizing that we're doing the same thing. We're holding ourselves back, and we're thinking maybe, well, it's fear of being overwhelmed, because there's a lot more work to do if you want to double or triple your business. Maybe a fear of failure, something like you talked about with the artist, the risk of time or money. We're not really sure what's going on, but we're all kind of doing the same thing. And with me personally, like I have things I'm just not doing that I could be doing to expand my business. And I really don't know why I'm not doing it.
Well, it's hard to do things before you've lined up energy. And lining up energy is not the easiest thing in the world if what you are living and what you have learned to expect is very far vibrationally from what you are wanting to do. So have you created any sort of a vision? In other words, the thing that we hear from so many, and we really hear it pulsing through the words and vibration that you are offering here, what you're saying, and a lot of people say it, is, I want things to be different than they are. I need things to be different than they are. And we say, but things are as they are, so make the best of things as they are. So try to soften your discomfort about where you are. Talk about your discomfort a little less. Talk about what you want a little more. That's the recipe. In other words, notice what is less and talk about what you're expecting more. Talk about things that bother you less and talk about things that make you feel good more. Talk about things that are going wrong less and talk about things that are going right more. In other words, it's not a difficult thing. In theory, in other words, that all makes sense to you, but then you just have to practice yourself into it. We can feel that many of you, and we keep bringing it up, which brings the attention back to it, but it was easier to enjoy this meeting before our neighbors joined us. It was. It was easier. We had better conditions for a meeting earlier today. But that is neither here nor there. What we've got is what we've got. And so now we have to move from where we are, you see. And so lamenting the fact that it was better before than it is now, or identifying the fact that what is happening is unpleasant, only causes a vibration that disallows what we are really wanting. And so we can get back into the flow of a powerful meeting. We can get back into the flow of co-creating. We can take thought beyond that which it has been before. We can get so clear-minded and so sure of what we're wanting to know that we can present the questions from the hot seat, and then Abraham can address the questions from the podium in a way that you would become so caught up in what is happening here that you would be totally oblivious to anything that is happening someplace else. And that's the thing that you have to do whenever you're standing someplace that is a little bit less than what you really want it to be. You have to sort of drum out the part of it that is not in vibrational alignment with what you want and beat the rhythm of what you do want so much that it becomes pervasive in the space. Can you feel how when we get rolling here and when you're listening and when we're talking about what we're wanting, that anything else becomes less important? Can you feel how as the momentum gets going and the alignment with source gets going, that everything that was inappropriate before seems unimportant now because there is so much connection with what is wanted? And it's exactly the same thing. You just have to literally get so fixated on what you want that you drown out any vibration or reverberation that has anything to do with what you do not want. You just get so fixated upon what you do want that it's as if people who are watching you can hardly believe it, because they're hearing all the clatter, they're feeling all the rumbles, they're feeling all the bumps in the road, they're still out there trying to create feathered nests, they're still trying to get circumstances and events to line up so that they can feel better. You just keep drumming the drum that feels best to you and make it the most dominant voice in the room. You make it the most dominant voice in the universe. You make it the voice that is being heard. You make it the reverberation of your being, and nothing that is has anything to do then with where you're going, because where you're going is the vibration of your now, you see. Yes. And then you come to bless the noise in the background because it made you focus. You come to bless the noise in the background because it reminded you of who you are and what you want. You begin to bless what is because it was the platform from which you launched into the new place. And in time you start relaxing into whatever is because you learn to stop condemning what is. And when you stop condemning what is, now you're in this place where what is can continue to soothe and bathe you, can soothe and give you what you are wanting. Yes.
One of the things that used to work for me was I would get angry, it was like almost like that was a fuel with like, I can do better than this, damn it. And then I would go do it, and that's what it took for me to get that focus.
Well, a lot of people find that they can motivate themselves through negative emotion. And
I don't want to do that anymore. So I've been trying to be more passive and creative without all the action and the drama.
well, the thing about this is what is what is. And what is a big part of how you feel for right now. And so if you can find a way of softening what is, of saying what is isn't so bad, of saying what is all right, and I'm not mad at myself for what is, and there is benefit in what is. In other words, your future experience is full of some problems. Yes, it is, because you're projecting things that you don't want into your future experience. So there are problems out there ready for you to discover. But right on the heels of those problems that you're getting ready to discover are solutions to those problems. Do you know that in the moment that you project the problem into your future, you project the solution into your future also? Isn't that worth thinking about? So since the problem is there, sure it is, and the solution is right behind it, which part of it are you going to activate? Which part of it? You could get so good at expecting things to go well for you that you would attract the solution before the problem. We're not kidding you. Don't you know people like that? Don't you know people that just never seem to have any trouble? They're not trying to justify their existence through trauma and tragedy. In other words, they're expecting things to go well. And so just do your best from where you are to feel as good as you can. And if you don't feel as good, remember, we didn't say think the best feeling thought that you've ever thought. We didn't say think the best feeling thought anybody has ever thought. We're encouraging you to think the best thought that you can find right now. And you have to talk yourself into it. And you'll feel it when it feels better. And so it's sort of like not feeling very good and reaching for something that feels better and not finding it, but still reaching and not finding it and not failing because I'm not trying to get all the way to bliss. Just reaching for something that feels a little better and then finding it and feeling a little better and then saying, good job, I feel a little better. And here I am, I'm not doing so bad, but I still think I could feel better. And then reaching for something that feels a little better, not trying to get all the way to bliss, but just something that feels a little better. And in time, you'll discover that you can soothe yourself. And when you've discovered that you can soothe yourself, now you've got the key to everything, because soothing yourself is releasing resistance. Soothing yourself is practicing the art of allowing. And every time you change the way you feel the slightest little bit, the slightest little soothing shifts you vibrationally to a whole new channel. Do you see how little you have to shift your radio dial to get a whole new set of music? Or a whole new set of discussion. In other words, it does not take very much shift in the frequency to tap into something entirely different than what you've been attracting, you see. So it's really worth making the effort to soothe yourself, because as you soothe yourself, your vibration shifts, your point of attraction shifts, and then it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. Not only because the universe is delivering to you better feeling stuff, but because you gain the confidence with every shift that it's going to be all right and that you can feel good under any and all conditions. Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Thanks.
good.
One quick question, though. I love to read mysteries. It's one of the things I've been trying to do to soothe myself, is distract myself by reading. And I found I just love mysteries. And they always involve, usually, some crime. And I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to put myself in a vibrational path of, crime, because I really do love mysteries. And
We wouldn't read things that stir up feelings or emotions in us that don't feel good when we're feeling them. It's like knowing you're allergic to milk and drinking a lot of it every day. It's like every time you eat chocolate, getting a gut-wrenching bellyache, but eating it anyway. We wouldn't do it. We would understand our sensitivity, you see.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sad to hear that, but thank you.